today I was getting really bothered because, like, every once in a while I would think that I had something on my glasses, but then I realized that it was just my pimple in the bottom of my vision. So I was like, why? And then this guy, he's like, that's not a pimple, that's a zit. And then I'm like, there isn't really any different. And he's like, yes there is. Zits have the white thing on the head, and pimples are like red mountain gross things. And it's like, I thought zits were just slang for pimples or something. To the interwebs. Difference between zits and pimples. So maybe there is a difference. What? Nah, it's just, well, this is science health. Zits tend to surface when the oil and melanin glands in the skin get clogged. Blah, 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 blah. Pimples appear raised pustules or papules and are very painful. Acne can be an active element in causing pimples. Yeah, so if we're going off there actually is a difference, then I think I have a zit. That's annoying. It wasn't like out of the blue, like random guy from across the classroom, like, no, it's not a pimple, it's a zit. You know, like it was a guy at my art table, and so, you know, like the whole art table is like chatting and stuff, and it's like, I can see my pimple. No, it's a zit. What? Why would you? How would you know? But apparently he did know, which is weird. Okay. Next. Oh yeah, the Tesla exhibit that we were going to never happened. That morning before we got there, the guy had gotten an email saying that the Tesla show had been canceled. And he had no reason available, it just was canceled. Which was sad. But then we went to the other side of the museum, because, you know, we were there anyway, so why not? And I met my new best friend. His name is Charles. And he's a sturgeon fishy. He is amazing. And he was so cute, except that I remember looking at the little touch screen like information thing, and there were two different types of sturgeon. There was lake sturgeon and shovel-nosed sturgeon, but I don't know which one he was, but I think I'll call him a shovel-nose, because shovel-nose sounds more fun, even though if you look on the interwebs, then he looks more like a lake sturgeon. But yeah, I think he's probably a lake sturgeon, but I like shovel-nose better. Lake sturgeon, found in the Great Lakes. Lake sturgeon, 3 foot 6 inches. Green and brown and gray on back and sides, white belly. Dyed a small inflex like mayflies. He eats insects? Plus crayfish, clams, small invertebrates, and small fish or two for dessert. Yeah, that's kind of cute. The largest shovel-nose came from the Des Moines River and at 12 pounds. Oh, so the shovel-nose are significantly smaller. The small sturgeon matures in 5 to 7 years and grows to 20 inches or 24 inches in length. Oh, 3 foot to 6 foot. Yeah, this was a tiny little thing, so I'm guessing that these guys were shovel-nosed sturgeon. And the bigger lake sturgeon were the ones that I saw that I was like, hey look, it's Charles' grandpa in the giant tank. Because what happened was Charles was in this smaller tank with no lid. It was so cool because it was probably like, what, like this big? I mean, it was hard, but you could like, it was so cute. You could just like reach in and you could pet the fish and they would stop and they would let you pet them, except, well, the other two besides Charles, they would stop for a second and then they would speed up, but Charles would just keep going nice and slow, and Charles was nice, and he was the biggest and he was the lightest, and so I could always tell which one was Charles. The other two were darker and smaller, so I couldn't really tell them apart as easily. But I could always tell which one was Charles, no matter what, because he was adorable. And so I kept petting him over and over, and there was a random guy who I think worked there who was randomly talking to me, and it was kind of interesting. And I asked him, did he think that Charles was a girl or a guy, because I didn't really want to be misnaming him. And then he was like, I haven't checked. Okay then. But, because, you know, I was thinking since he was bigger and lighter, maybe he was, like, male and the other two were female, even though I had already named one of them Batman, and I forgot my name for the other one. I think I just called them, like, Batman and Robin or something. They were very cute, and random guy didn't know which ones were. Oh goodness, I'm sitting in the bottom of the screen. Gross. I wonder how long it's been like that. Charles was adorable, and I loved spending the day with him because he was amazing, and I think he must be a shovel nose because shovel noses are significantly smaller than lake sturgeons. And so that was sad that we didn't get to see the Tesla show, but I think Charles and many other things on the aquarium side made up for it. Also, we went back to school. That was my noise I was obligated to make, just so you know. It was completely obligated that I spell it that way too, because I typed it that way. I'll put it here. This is how I spelled it when I was, like, randomly typing. Oh, that's my other hand. When I was randomly typing things and stuff, and then my yuck turned into yuck, and then it turns into yuck, and then it turned into yuck. It was like yuck. It's yuck. You know, Maggie thought of the Q at the end. Like, cause normally art class is okay-ish. I mean, it's getting really, really old, and so I'm not taking another art class next year. In fact, I think I'm taking an engineering class. That'll be really cool, because, as you guys have recently heard, I want to make robots and be a mechanical engineer and make medical technology, which would be super cool. But, also, so this week has been particularly bad art-wise because of this little fella. And, I mean, you know, it's like he's so small. Oh, Tina loves my aunt. Here, kiss him, make all the ink run. Just kidding, I don't think it can. But he has been ruining my whole life because if you look, every single individual little dot is enough to drive any person insane after a certain point. It takes forever because I chose to do stippling for some reason. I mean, you have more control this way, but it takes so long and it takes so much patience, and I just want to explode this ant and just make it disappear off the face of the earth, and I don't want to see it anymore, and I don't want it to see me anymore, and I don't want to have to work on it anymore, and I think I have to finish it this weekend or else my brain is gonna explode. And then I get to start something new. Oh goodness. There was my friend who was standing there, and I go over to her and she's like, hey look, and then she pointed and there was this bug. But it actually had a really pretty pattern on the back, and I enjoyed looking at it, and it was super pretty. It was really pretty and I loved it, and it had a brown back and random white pretty patterns, and it was beautiful. Anyway, so that has been my week, and you know what I just realized is not only did Maggie miss a day, but she never did her tiptoe through the tulips. So we need to find some way to enforce these things, because otherwise they just get forgotten and postponed sometimes. I mean, yeah. That's it, I think. Yep. Charles is my favorite ever. He is my superhero. He is amazing. I love him. Yeah.